course, good morning, St. Lucia. Good morning, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. It is now 11 o'clock. My time for man versus woman. You see, you're rushing the thing. I haven't even put your microphone on yet.
What?
I didn't put your microphone
you
on.
You muted because you know I was going to say woman versus man.
I didn't mute you. I don't need.
You did that deliberately.
There's no need for me to mute you.
No, I was going to just read on your parade so you make sure
Everyone
to
knows
me.
it's man versus woman.
You sure about that?
I'm sure about that. And
sure
I'm
not
sure
woman versus
Tamara would
man.
confirm that with me. Tamara, good morning to you. How you doing, darling?
Morning, Tamara.
Good morning to our listeners. Good morning to the Red Lobster. Good morning. Good morning to the folks at home. Yes.
I think you need to repeat the WhatsApp number that they could call.
489-4781. And it's also on your screen. So it's 489-4781. Or in studio, 458-2488. Did I do a good job?
Yes, you did.
I did?
Yes,
I did a great job.
Yes,
right?
you did.
All right. So you will hire me.
I think about that.
I want to be on your payroll.
I think about that, because...
I want to be on your payroll.
Because...
Because what?
Let it rest right there.
Oh, my goodness. We're getting a... Why is Dravid calling us? Dravid, good morning. Why are you calling us on set, Dravid? Yes, Dravid, good morning. I put him on the spot. Good morning, Dravid. You're live.
Dravid is back.
Hello? You got shy.
Yeah. Morning, Dravid. Welcome back.
Welcome back. He's back. He was out.
Yeah, he was out for a couple of days.
Who takes more time off from work, men or women?
All right. Let me give it to you. All right, women. All right, women. Let it rest. We're not going to fight about that. Women.
Women.
Yes.
All right. So you got a question?
No bias right there.
That's my first question for the morning. What's your question? One for you.
I don't think I have one for you yet.
You don't have one for me yet?
Yeah.
You should have a lot for me because I'm full of questions.
You really want me to start?
I got my sexy shirt on today though. Have you noticed?
Let me see it.
You can see the muscles.
Turn around, let me see. Yeah, man. Yeah, all right. Yeah, you're going on. Yeah. Yeah. We just say, yeah, man. Yeah, Yeah, man.
My goodness, you're so full of it, eh? You're so full of it. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh. It's 7 minutes past the hour, and of course you locked on to hitzfm 92.1, 91.1, the Maximum Music Authority. Alongside GVD TV, it's Man versus Woman. I am Asylum.
And I am Suzette.
And Suzy Q.
Asylum. Let me tell the people my name.
Suzy Q.
You just really want to start something this morning, but I tried my best this morning to be a good girl and keep it on the down low. You see what I'm saying?
When a woman decides to be a good girl, does that take a lot of energy?
Well, for some like me, yeah.
It does?
Yeah.
That mean that you're a bad girl all the time then?
Yeah. Well, it depends on what you want to, define as bad girl.
Well, what would a day in your life as a bad girl be like?
Well, take talk from nobody.
I hate to say this and I keep saying it. I keep thinking it. Boy, I see why you're divorced there. I hate to say it. I hate to say it. But I have to say it. Was it one of those?
Let me tell you something. I can be a very sweet person.
When?
Ask anybody that knows me.
When you sleep in?
Ask anybody that knows me.
No, I don't think
I can be a very sweet person.
How about I ask your ex-husband?
Don't get me. Listen, if you ask him about his ex-wife, you will get nothing but the best. Yes.
So whose fault was it? Let me get into your business.
Jesus Christ. Let us not go down that road this morning. Asylum.
Because for me,
you get a little tips out of it yesterday.
Listen, hold on. I've been married twice.
Twice?
Yes. I was very young the first time.
I can imagine a poor woman. No wonder. Twice.
I've always said my first marriage was my fault.
Okay.
There's a combination of a couple of things. She was actually 10 years older than me.
Wow.
So we were in different levels of life.
So why didn't just step up to the ladies' level?
It was hard.
Men.
It was hard. It was hard.
Typical men.
If you know her, you would know it was hard. That's the one that told me if I wanted. I actually had a quarrel with her one time and say, no, you're not even trying to get to learn, because we're different cultures. Right? She's Italian. Right. Get to learn. Check out my mom. You and my mom good. My mom love having you around. Check with her and learn to cook a little rice and peas and a little one pot. You know what she tell me? If you want one pot, you will go to your mother's house for it. That's the type of mentality she had. So I mean, I blame myself primarily because I was 10 years younger, right? And I find that. I was we were into different things at that time. Yeah. So we really didn't do much together. We didn't, But I have a beautiful daughter, my oldest daughter, who's now 24, right? From Matia. She's a model, right? Very, very, very beautiful child. And, after 7 years, we parted ways because it was just not going anywhere. 7 years. Yes.
And they say after 7 years is when the sweetness comes in the relationship, in the marriage.
By then, and believe me, I have never ended a relationship on a bitter note. We're still not as close friends as we used to be because, we had to raise a teenage daughter, had to go through the teenage years where, it was, I certain things my daughter wanted to get into and I wasn't having it and the mother was okay with it and we kind of, grew apart. Right. Friendship grew apart because of that.
I understand that.
Second marriage was not my fault. Okay. Was definitely not my fault.
I would say the same thing too.
We still have a very good relationship because we do have 2 children from that marriage. And just about an hour ago I actually spoke to her because my daughter's not feeling well, so she called me to inform me that my daughter wasn't well and I need to check in with her and see how she's doing and give her that little daddy pep talk. So I can tell you that I messed one up and one was not my fault.
Okay.
Right? So
understandable.
Back to you now.
So you tell me your story to hear my story.
Yes, well, that's it is. It's Thursday. This is the last show for the week because we are doing Monday to Thursdays as of now. Right?
Lord, so today's Thursday.
Yes, it is. So this is the last show for the week. So let's have some fun. We want to hear your business. Because the whole idea about man versus woman too is also for our listeners and viewers to get to know us, Right. To get to know us. So tell me a bit about...
I got married very young.
What's very young?
Like I was about 21 when I got married. Yeah. And you're young and in love and you don't care about nothing else. And then I had a church behind me pushing me to get married. Right. I didn't look at...
Was that a smart move?
No, it wasn't.
We'll talk about that some other time.
I didn't look at what the future would hold for, us. We just went into it, 2 young people, and our parents were totally against it.
So the brothers and sisters in the church say, if you don't want to be talking in a corner and holding hands and that, you
have to get married and stuff like that.
What church? What denomination?
Pentecostal. It was at a time, right? All right. And we decided we were going to get married. We got a lot of fight from both sides of the family.
So the family wasn't not having it?
No, they weren't having it because first and foremost, my ex-husband, I don't want to put his business out there, so leave that. But he just wasn't ready for marriage. And up until the time we got divorced, he still wasn't ready, honestly.
How long were you married for?
Okay,
Or together for?
We were before we got married. You mean before we got married?
No, while you're married, from married to separation.
All right, we were together for about 15 years. No, let me tell you what happened. We were together for the marriage was tied for about 3 years. Okay. And then we separated. Okay. We separated for 5 years. Right. And about 2 or 3 days before the divorce was finalized, we came back together.
Chick looks again.
You see you?
Chick looks again.
We
So just before you got the divorce.
Just before the divorce was finalized.
Again.
It's not a matter of, well, if you want to put it that way, yeah. So we decided we were gonna go back together, and
So but the divorce was final because
it wasn't final. We had to bolt to the lawyer's office to
tell
get
them
it
to stop it?
stopped.
So you did
Yes,
that?
yes, we had to.
And
yeah.
you got it stopped.
Yes.
Wow.
So we decide now that okay, we're gonna
Try.
come back together, try again, and well, it was my idea, to be honest with you, to come back together. I didn't want another man, honestly. Because I was just there for 5 years, and I can't be bothered with men, and then I had all kind of thoughts coming into my head where men were concerned. So
you lock up the shop, you bolt up the doors, all the windows, and you left the corner to spoil.
I just kept focused. You see, that's why people have to tell you their business,
reality. That's what it is.
So I just decided to stay focused on career and my child, my daughter who is 20 now.
Right.
I decided to just stay focused on her and my career, my education. Just that. That was all my life was about. Then when we came back together, things, I'm saying, oh, you seem as if he has changed. Yeah, things good. And, we even renewed our vows. It's almost like we were marrying over again and, that kind of thing.
Things nice.
And then as time went by, I see the same things resurfacing, and I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? Yeah. And then, it just kept happening over and over, and I just decided that, listen, right out of university, I got a scholarship. That's how I ended up in St. Lucia. I got a scholarship to come to St. Lucia to study politics. And then after that was over, I went back. And when I went back, things were just messed up with the marriage and things. So I said, you know something? Let me take a vacation. I came to St. Lucia, and when I came to St. Lucia had this relaxed atmosphere about it and thing. And
sat in the class
I just decided that.
Oh,
please, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. I just decided that, you know something? If I stay, then I would have to go back and deal with all of that. And so I decided that, listen, I'm going to stay.
You're going to stay.
Yeah, so I got myself sorted out here in St. Lucia, and,
And here we have it. We have you.
And I'm here now.
Any plans would you revisit the whole marriage?
They say once bitten, twice shy, but this is twice bitten, twice shy.
But the thing is, I would never ever say that I would never get married again.
Me neither.
Because I've seen a lot of my friends, and I like to learn from people's experiences, right? I have one of my best friends, Jay. I know he's listening. My friends always listen. They listen.
Okay.
They always listen. He's gonna call me later and curse me. But this is the guy who swore he would never ever get married. All our lives growing up, we did so much things together. Me and I never get married. Guess what?
He's happily married now? Oh, wow.
Love bites you.
Yeah, when you don't expect it. That's so true.
And it only really takes the right person to come along.
True.
For you to, change all the swear that you swore.
That is so true.
For all your life to change, because you never know.
That is
so I would never ever say that. I would
Me
never
neither.
ever say that. As a matter of fact, I don't think my two past experiences is enough for me to say I would never do it again, because I don't know what tomorrow brings.
True.
The person that I might least be expecting to walk into my life can just do that tomorrow.
That's correct.
And every individual, I believe that every person has a special way of reacting to the next person they meet. And I'm talking about in general.
Yeah.
My experiences with you might not be somebody else's experience with you. I would say,
True.
she's that, that girl, she's this, she's that. And then somebody else will say, her, she's a total darling, I love her. She's funny, she's a very nice person. And that's just the way we are.
That is true. Because everybody sees things differently.
Yeah.
It's not
And
it's not a one size fits all.
We all go through different stages in our lives. I think that every individual goes through that promiscuous stage, whether it's done on a large scale or just a minute scale.
At what kind of stage?
Promiscuous. When you're younger, everybody wants to experience life. And then
I'm not ordinary.
Well, no, I'm not saying that everyone does that, but what it is that When you're a teenager, it's about exploring different things, exploring the things that you hear people talking about all the time, and then you get to the early 20s and early 20s, where it's like, all right, well, this is where I am, this is what I am about, and you're developing who you are going to become. By mid 20s to early 30s, you should have already established, okay, this is me, this is the personality I have, this is what I'm about.
Well, I think I developed
from
that
there on,
since I was about 18.
From there on, it's more of putting your life together. Sometimes it takes a lot longer than others to get done.
True.
And depends on the amount of trouble you got into in the early age.
The name of what?
The amount of trouble you got into.
Oh. Well, I never got into a lot of trouble.
Well, I mean, when I say trouble, I mean in general, people tend to judge people by things that they've done in the past.
That
and
is
that
so
hinders
true.
your future.
That is so true.
Right? You might not be a bad person, but you might have made a few mistakes that brands you a bad person, and that it will affect you throughout the course of your life. So, again, to teenagers, to young people, you have to be careful. Whatever you do today will always rear its head in the future. It might not damage you in the future, but it could potentially hurt you. So be careful. Think about what you do when you do it.
Yep.
All right. And again, as far as marriage, the difference between being married and being in a relationship, I don't think, like a solid relationship, I don't think there's much of a difference. There are people who are actually married that are having a harder time than people who are actually living together.
And funny, what I find
solid relationship.
And what I find happen a lot. You'll be in a solid relationship and things are so good with you and your partner. And the moment those two people get married,
things change.
Yeah, it's like what happens?
A lot of it has to do with our mentality too. West Indians, we don't look at, and you would always hear me say partner, right? Because I was actually taught that.
But
it's not your wife.
It's
not your girlfriend. It's your partner.
That's true.
And that's the mentality we have. Is that when you're with somebody, they belong to you, or when you're married to somebody, they belong to you. It's not so, because ownership is different than sharing something, right? If you're gonna say that because you're my wife, I own you, that it kind of puts that person in a defensive mode.
Yes.
At all times. But if you share that marriage, you share that love, you share that commitment, you share that responsibility of being in a relationship, then you will see things differently. And we all have the tendency, like for instance, let me just draw this scenario. You have two best friends, two girls, mainly women, that they grew up together. As teenagers, as youngsters, they did everything together. They enjoyed their early 20s together. Every party they were there together. Everywhere they went together. Both tries they went together. One gets married and all of a sudden you can't call her Janet anymore.
Yes. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
She wants you to call her Mrs.
Mrs. James. Yes, or Mrs. whoever. That is so true.
So
who you calling Janet? Yeah.
You have no respect for me.
Yes. Yes.
Doesn't mean because you're married that you have to change your relationship with your friends.
It's good. That's true.
Especially when it comes to addressing you.
You have a lot of women like that, for true.
Because we all call each other by our first names, and I think that can be done in a work environment also.
Yes,
with respect.
Of course, I agree.
There's no such thing as Mr. Holder here, because unless you're formally addressing me for a specific reason, I would tell you no.
Yep.
And I think that's where there are some people who would cross the line with that.
Yeah. Well, you'll find that.
But on the most part, I think we tend to
people get offended too easily sometimes. I find that's just it. You addressing somebody by, all right, this person is allowed to address me as Suzette. I don't feel any way. And that person come and say, oh, Suzette. I'm like, who you calling Suzette? But that's your name. What is the problem?
Exactly. Exactly, and we're very selective too as to who we allow to. I mean, especially in the workplace, if you allow one or two people to call you Suzette, then you should allow
everybody should be able to call you Suzette.
Yeah, and of course, like you said, rightfully that's your name.
And then you have to look at the flip side of it too. Some persons, you allow them to do that, and then it's almost like they want to take it to a level where they're going to be disrespectful.
Right.
So you have to.
Right. So then you have to put that in
exactly.
line. Keep it in line.
Yes.
All right. Just about 24 minutes after the hour, nice little chit chat that we have in here this morning. It's the last show for the week. Of course, you know, Monday to Thursday, we're here from 11 until 12, man versus woman, where we get to try to explore the minds of each other. Sometimes we have questions, and we have been getting a lot of people sending us emails wanting help on their situation. So we have been dealing with that also. And on the most part, though, we just try to, get to know each other. Yesterday was very heated. Yes. I think I rattled your cage a little bit. When she left here, she looked like one of those fighting chickens.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Don't tell
the ones that you find
in
the one to find the ones you find in bad knee.
That because you might just get some licks inside here today.
But it's true.
You might just get some licks inside here today.
She was very upset. As a matter of fact, I don't think you spoke to me at all yesterday.
Really, no. Don't tell the viewers. Do not tell the viewers and listeners
folks, to me, that's typical of a woman.
Oh, really? No.
Whenever she doesn't get what she wants,
Asylum.
get things her way. Hold on, finish.
We have been doing so well this morning.
Good.
Let it remain that way.
Maybe it's time I give you the half reality.
Let it remain that way.
Women have a tendency, fellas, and correct me if I'm wrong, they do not know when to let go of things. All right? We had a heated show yesterday.
Look here, when a man decides to hold on to something, Asylum, he's worse than any woman. So don't even go down that road.
Let me finish.
Oh,
there's an old saying,
what you're talking about.
Hell has no what? Can you finish the
I don't know.
Hell sees no.
I don't know. Let's move on.
Or something to the sort. When a woman gets mad at a man, why is it that they like to hold on to it for days if they can?
But men do it too.
We do not do that.
Yes.
It's like, let's get this over with.
When a man holds on to something, it's worse than when a woman does it.
The only thing that we will hold on that way worse than a woman is you, to hold you tight and make sure.
Oh, please.
All right. But when a woman gets angry or gets mad at her husband or her boyfriend, that can go on for days.
You have men who go on for months.
It can go on for days.
You have men who go on for months.
It's a simple issue that we just need to just talk it out and deal with it. It can go on for days.
Men can go on for weeks and months.
That typical again. Instead of dealing with it, answering the question, why so?
But I'm dealing with it, I'm telling you, men can go on with it for months.
But it's true. It is true.
Yeah,
right?
it's true. They can go on with it.
Women can go on for it. Yes. I'm glad that you're agreeing with me there.
No, men are talking, not women.
Man versus woman. We do have a situation, so it's about 27 minutes, so we can go into our situation now.
Yes.
What do you think?
Yeah,
you want to do the honors there?
Dear Asylum and Suzette.
Yes.
I have
like
a
that.
situation.
Hold on. I like that. Dear Asylum and Suzette. Yeah, I like it. Go ahead.
Asylum.
Yes.
All right. Let me continue. You just want to war this
Go ahead
morning,
and continue. Yes, I'm listening.
Okay, I'm not even going to repeat that part.
No,
I
but you have to.
I have a situation that I would like to run by you. My ex-boyfriend is in prison. We recently got back in contact with each other, and now he is talking about marrying me and having a kid with me. Before he was ever in prison, he still mentioned marriage and kids, and we have been off and on since I was 14 years old. I am 21 now, and he will be getting out of prison in 5 months. I do love him and I do want to be with him, but I want to be sure that he wants to be with me too. His mother recently got in contact with me and told me that he used to talk about me all the time. She also said he told his entire family about me way before he ever went to prison. For the past 6 years now, we have had complications being together because he's always been put in situations where we aren't able to talk on the phone, whether he was in jail, he didn't have a cell phone, or he just decided to take a break. We just decided to take a break from each other. But it always seems like we find each other and get back together. How can I be sure that I'm making the right decision in being with him? That one sounds... that sounds...
He's in
tight.
prison and he's talking about getting married and having a child. I wonder if he's aware that there's a cost to that.
That's what I'm wondering.
First
too.
of all, that's just the first thing I'm going to bring out. I wonder if he's aware that there's a cost to that. I mean, to me, he should be thinking of getting out, getting a job, getting himself back together. And then maybe he can worry about marriage and the extra financial burden of a child.
He sounds unstable to me.
The relationship sounds unstable. Very, very, very unstable. She talks about them being on and off, and you know, he's always and this is something I want to.
Always he's between a situation, or
and he's been put in a situation.
Talk on the phone.
I wonder why she thinks that he is being put in that situation, or those situations. To me, he has to be accountable for his own actions.
Exactly.
I'm assuming that he wasn't wrongly accused and falsely in prison. He must have done something to warrant prison time, and it has not been the first time.
Right.
Gathering from what she said.
Yes, exactly.
It has not been the first time.
So every time he goes there, it's because he's falsely accused. I don't.
Also, devil's advocate. Our prison system boasts rehabilitation.
Yeah.
Right? So even though he could have gone to prison a few times, this could be the one time that he has actually learned to stay out of prison.
Yeah, but that don't mean you're going to jump into marriage with him, so because I think you have to give him a few, you know.
She's in love.
Yeah, she's in love, but hello, that was my mistake.
Listen to me.
I'm in love.
Every woman that's in love with a man hopes and wishes that he would ask her that big question.
I know.
That's every woman's dream.
I know.
So much so that
we have to be careful.
Some women plan that perfect wedding day from their tiny little children.
Why are you always saying that?
But it's the truth. You've never practiced. You never.
I never thought of marriage.
A lot of women when they're.
I never thought of marriage until I was asked.
Until you were asked.
Yeah. Then that's when I started
looking
at planning my.
I think
I was too much of a tomboy.
A lot of young girls, you know, they talk about, oh, when I get married, you know, this is how I want my wedding to be, the fairy tale wedding, this and that. You know, women always at a very young age envision that day when they walk down the aisle.
So let me ask you, men don't do that too?
No.
You don't do that?
No, men do not do that.
You don't do that?
I have never done it. And I'm sure that most of the people that I know, most of my friends have never done that. It's a time thing. When you get to that point, and that's how it is with most men, you know, with everything. Babes, the grass need cut. Okay, when
you bring up that grass thing again. Yes. I see that grass thing hitting you like that.
We usually do things when it's necessary.
When it's necessary for you.
When it's necessary.
When it's necessary for you.
When it's necessary.
Because let us not. Let's continue. Let's continue looking.
Even when our best friends get married. You know the thing is, when our best friends get married, and we get invited to be the best man, we're standing there saying, "Boy, I hope this is okay." We're not standing there saying, "Well, I wonder when my time is coming." That's what women do. Guys don't. That's why when you see they do the bouquet toss, women would box each other away from that bouquet. They would box each other away from that wedding just to catch that. They'll do anything to catch it. Whereas guys, they don't really care. We just do it for a laugh.
So you're saying that for a man to ask a woman to marry him, it's spontaneous.
It's not spontaneous. He's gotten to that point where he feels it's now time for me to get married.
Yeah, but women
and whether or not the marriage works depends on the effort that both parties put into it.
Yes, that's true.
So we get to that point where we say, you know what, I said, enough. Oh, I'm tired, guys. How much women I with already, and
What
how
do
many
you-
places I've done already.
What do you find?
It's time for me to just
Does
settle down.
do men give up on marriage faster than women, or vice versa?
I think we could lead the pack when it comes to giving up, because you see, we were brought into this world by a woman that spoiled us out of from the get go, and really and truly, most men, given the opportunity to have a woman that would take care of them, like hands down, like hands and feet, we would love it. We like to be pampered. We like to be babied.
I know that.
Right? So, and
I know that.
we always in our subconscious mind expect,
sometimes when you do it too much,
especially when we have really good mothers, especially when we have really good mothers, we expect that our wives treat us the same way our mothers did.
Yeah, I realize that.
We do.
Like
we honestly do.
true.
We expect it. A lot of times men would compare their wives to their moms.
I know.
Because that's the one person that really, really went all out to make sure that we were good. So we're expecting you now to be the woman in our life now to go all out to make sure that we're good.
But you see, that's the thing,
When there's a breakdown,
that's the thing, they expect us to go all out for them, and they are not willing to do the same for us. And that is what caused the breakdown. Because you find now that the woman, you find now that the woman begins to think, okay, I'm always doing. So why?
You know what causes that? What causes that?
What?
The disconnect causes that. The lack of communication causes that. Because you and I in a relationship, if you notice that there's something that I'm doing that is not something that you fancy, instead of coming to me, some women would opt to don't say anything at all or complain to someone else so that it will get to him.
Here's the thing. So what about in a case where, okay, she finds that she's always doing and you're not doing, and she speaks to you about it? You have a lot of men who find offense in that.
But doing, when you say doing, what do you mean?
The whole idea of pampering, making sure that he's comfortable, doing, going the extra mile, putting his feet to soak, and then, giving him a scrub and giving him a nice massage and these things.
These are all womanly features, though. These are all women.
So you're telling me that a man is not supposed to do that?
I'm not saying that, but women are by nature.
I want it
by
too.
nature.
I want it too.
And you'll think about it 10 times before a man thinks about these things.
Hello, I want it too.
We don't usually think about
I'm giving it to you. I want it too.
The reality
and that's what a lot of men need to understand. These women may not.
Fine,
if the woman doesn't
fine.
say anything, she will act it out. Whatever you see her giving you,
but here's the thing.
she's trying to tell you that this is what I want.
This is how we look at that. First of all, we're not designed. We're not wired to think about these things. Women are. If you were in a relationship and we're supposed to be partners, hold on, and we're carrying, let's say for instance, we're carrying a bag full of groceries. Both of us, you've got one handle, and I have one. And we're supposed to be headed home with this. And you find that I'm letting most of the weight come on you. You ought to say something.
Me, I let it go.
Because in my mind, I might not even be conscious, and most men, the way we are wired, might not even be conscious that we're doing something wrong.
Okay, well, thanks
so
for
it's
that.
up to you to say so.
Thanks for the hint.
But
and
instead of saying
sometimes we say it and it causes a problem.
Okay, again, delivery is everything also. Just the other day, I think it was sometime last week, I was in town, and hold for a second, caller, and a lady was coming out of a store with me. She had a little child with her, and I hope she's listening, because I really thought that, and I turned to her and said, that's the right way to speak to the child. She was saying, I guess the child said something, and the lady, I don't know if it's a mother or aunt or whatever, was correcting the child and letting her know sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
She explained it to her. She said, you know what, when you say it like that, it comes out harsh, so you might get a harsh response from whoever you say
that
it
is
to.
true. But in some cases...
Caller, good morning, you're live. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
All right.
Good morning, Suzette.
Good morning, Tamika.
Okay, I'm going to give my contribution on the letter on the young lady.
Right.
Yes.
Now she said that the boy is in jail and he wants to get married and he wants to have a child. Now, relationships have rules, right? So we have to try our best to go along with the rules of the relationship.
Right.
Now, if relationships have rules and he's in jail, not that he's bad or anything, you can't even obey the laws of the land. You want to be in a relationship. You want to be in a relationship. You want to be in a relationship.
We all make mistakes.
Promising marriage and child.
We all make mistakes.
I'm not saying that he's a bad person. I'm not saying that he's a bad person or anything.
Oh my God,
Tamika. Because things happen, and so you end up sometimes you end up on the wrong side of things. You understand? But if she I think she should take a real long hard think about it, and she will know what to do.
But
as for the man,
go ahead, caller.
Yes.
Oh my God, Tamika, you're not easy at all. You can't obey the laws of the land. Or is he going to obey the laws of the relationship?
But there's a reason why he's in prison. He being in prison doesn't only isn't only there to serve as punishment. It's there to serve as rehabilitation. So sometimes these people come out of
the programs are there.
Right.
The programs are there to better yourself. So they do not apply themselves to it.
Right. I mean, gone are the days when
he does, something can happen.
Right.
You're getting married just because you're in jail 5 months after you come out is another thing. So what?
Yeah,
well, again,
you see it.
Again, I think she should really wait until after he
just probably bored. He just probably bored in jail, so he's just talking. Anyways, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you very much, Tamara.
Bye, Tamara.
And she's right about that to some extent, where I really do believe that she ought to wait until he comes out and see where his head is. See if he's learned his lessons, and see if there's any changes that he can make or he would have made to facilitate him being a new husband. The prison system gone are the days when it was just there to punish people. That's not the way it is. People come out of there. They have a lot
of rehabilitation
programs
going
schooling,
on now,
all that kind of thing.
Because right now in Borderley, they are accomplishing a lot.
Right. So she need to really, really take a hard look as to whether or not he has changed his ways, whatever it is that landed him in prison. It could not have. It doesn't always have to be something all bad. When somebody goes to prison, it doesn't have to always be something all bad. People have been wrongly imprisoned. It could have been a circumstance where he was just at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Not in this case, though, because based on what she's saying, though. Not in this case, because if he's always finding himself in all kind of things, situations and these kind of things, it means that something is wrong somewhere. So it's not just that he probably did something that was wrong. There is something that is underlying there. So I would advise her to, as you say, wait until you see that he's ready for marriage, and he can take care of you and a child, and he's serious. I would not just go ahead and get married to him when he comes out from prison.
Well, I mean, any decent wedding really these days, you're looking at about what, $10,000?
For what?
A decent wedding, the cost.
Yeah, about that.
Minimum.
Minimum. Yeah. A simple little wedding.
I mean, unless he has money in the bank already. I
or
think
he
it's
have
gonna
some godfather that is
I think he's
throw money
gonna
on
have
him.
to come out and actually put down some good works first. So there should be time given.
He probably asking, but when he comes out, he'll put things in place. But right now,
also,
girl,
it could be a ploy to keep her around.
that could be it too.
To
Or
make
as
sure that she
Tamika say,
stays.
he's just saying that because he's just
bored?
saying that because he's bored.
I think it could be a ploy to keep her around. So she has to be careful. I mean, I'm going to try to burst her bubble or anything of the sort, but harsh reality is the man's in prison right now. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't know, well, he's be out in 5 months. Doesn't know what future holds for him when he comes out. That prison stint that he's doing right now could be the very thing that's going to keep him back from getting a decent job or getting a job altogether. Right? So you need to know what his plans are. You need to know what he have. What he have in his mind for both of you moving forward.
Exactly, and but look at it. The funny thing about it is, she should know him. Since she said that they've been together since she was 14 years. She's now 21. She should know him.
I am particularly concerned with the fact that this is not his first time in prison either.
Right. You should know. You should know this man, and you, as an individual, should know what you want.
Because if he has a habit of re-entering into the borderless facility, it simply means that even after you've gotten married to him and after you've had that child, you'll be going back, and you would have to raise that child pretty much on your own. And a lot of times when these guys are, reoffenders, every time they go in for something worse.
Exactly.
And they get more time.
Exactly.
So you have to check yourself, my lady. I believe that he has to really, really do a lot of work in terms of proving himself to you. Don't let love get in the driver's seat here.
Yeah.
If love gets in the driver's seat, then you definitely will end up at the back of the bus.
Of course. I've known of this young man. He has a girlfriend. The girl has 2 children for him. Right? He was sent to jail for drugs. He spent some time and he came out. 3 months later he's back in jail, and he has a woman out there with 2 children, just fending for herself.
Yeah.
So you have to think. You can't just up and say, okay, I'm going to get married to this man when he gets out, because it doesn't work like that.
And devil's
have
advocate.
to understand himself.
Devil's advocate. He could have changed.
Well, yeah, he could have.
He could come out. He could very well come out the changed man.
Yes, I'm not disagreeing with that. But as we say before, make sure that you wait to see if this is what you really want. If this man has changed I don't know. Maybe he's the man she wants because she's been with him for so long.
I think too. Speaking to the young lady, this is a good time to run. You have no children for him. It gets worse. It's harder to leave. If he decides to reoffend and go back to prison, after having a child and being married to him, it's more difficult for you to walk away. So this is a time that you really need to carefully consider what you want for your future.
Exactly.
You need to carefully consider whether or not he has been rehabilitated, right? If he's a different citizen than before he went into prison. These are things that you have to look into.
Right.
And there's nothing that's going to teach you that or give you an idea as to how much things have changed but time. Time is your best friend right now. So it simply means when he gets out of prison, you give it some time. Don't rush into no marriage. Don't rush into getting pregnant with for him.
No, that would be a big mistake.
Right? And feel him out.
Have a child growing up without her father or his father.
And becoming another part of the statistics.
Exactly.
Do it on your time. And you need to allot yourself the amount of time it takes to really, establish whether or not you should or should not get married and have a child ultimately with this person.
Right.
I believe that not all men and women in our correctional facilities are bad people. Some of them are just, have had misfortunes, made mistakes. And that's what the system is for. That's what the prison system is for,
exactly.
is to help you to correct those mistakes.
Right.
Not everyone that goes in comes out the same way. Some of them come out a changed persons.
And then you have some of them too that go in for some stuff that they did, and it was
And they come out
just a
worse.
spur of the moment thing where they made a little mistake and things happen.
If you're a reoffender, I highly doubt that it's a little mistake.
Well,
Right? And again,
not
this story lends to him being a reoffender.
well, yeah.
So these things have to all be considered. If that was my sister, I'd definitely
My
be giving
girl,
her,
no.
some warnings.
I would not advise her to just jump into this now. Wait.
Yeah, wait.
Time is your
Let
friend.
him get out, see where he's at, let him prove to you. Let him prove himself to you.
Exactly.
Get up, get a job, clean up your act, start doing things right, start doing things for you that's going to make you know that he's serious about wanting to have you in his life.
Yep.
And then, only then, you can say, well, after who knows how long. It could happen in a year.
Right.
Take as much time as you need because that is your future.
Yeah.
If you believe that this is a relationship that you want to be a part of.
Yeah, because she said they keep breaking up but going back together.
Again, that's another red flag for me.
Yeah, unstable. That's instability.
And all these things have to change. So it will take time for that to happen. It's almost like the relationship is going to be in a nursery.
I agree with
Right?
you.
Put the relationship in a nursery and watch how it grows or gets better
Right.
from there. Nurse it back to health. And you're not striving to nurse it back to health. You're striving for it to be healthier.
Right.
Or as healthy as it can be. And then only then, if you were my sister, I would give you my blessing.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
that is very important. We got about 9 minutes onto the hour. Of course, we want to say a special good morning to the folks down at Dax, Club Red. They lunchtime menu.
Oh, here we go.
We also want to let you guys know that if you're looking for somewhere to have lunch, check out Club Red Sports Bar and Lounge in the heart of the city. And let me tell you what the menu is today. Let me put my glasses on. Today's Thursday. On the menu, they have fish, turkey, pork, lasagna, ground provision. It's they've got peas, rice, salad, steamed and tossed vegetables, and of course, there's always dessert. So, Club Red Sports Bar and Lounge is definitely the place. Victoria Street in Castries to have lunch, and also on their menu, there's a cocktail menu also. Strawberry daiquiri, mango daiquiri, martinis. You can have a margarita. They have some real upscale stuff here in the heart of the city. So check out Club Red Sports Bar and Lounge on Victoria Street in Castries for lunch today. You can also head over to Carol's Kitchen. Let me tell you what's on the menu at Carol's Kitchen this morning. Carol's Kitchen always boasts one of the best local menus on the island. You can have steamed fish, so only $27. Grilled fish, only $27. Garlic fish and Creole fish, $25. They also have baked chicken, stewed chicken, stewed pork, baked wings, stewed wings. You can also get fries by the portion, chicken and fries, fish and fries. For sides, they have mac and cheese, chow mein, dasheen, sweet potato, brown rice, fried plantain, black eyed peas, and of course a tossed salad. You can also get a bottle of cold local juice. What's your favorite local juice?
Golden apple.
Golden apple?
Yeah. We call it June plum in Jamaica.
Plum?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
the
funny thing about it is, you know that in St. Lucia, I come and drink golden apple juice.
You never had it in Jamaica?
No, I've never had it in Jamaica. You just eat it.
Okay, you not made juice.
When it's that season, season for it in Jamaica, what they do is they peel it. When it's very ripe, put it in a plastic bag and tip a little salt on it. And that sell very fast.
You can give them a call or WhatsApp them at 519-6886. Order your lunch ahead of time. My favorite local juice, tamarind. I like tamarind.
Well, I like tamarind too, but
golden apple is also one of my favorites. And my neighbor just gave me some soursop. But let me tell you, you have had sugar apple, right?
Have what?
Sugar apple. You know what sugar apple is?
Yes, that's one of
sugar apple
the
is sweet.
best fruits.
My neighbor just gave me some soursop, and they're so sweet. It's almost like you're eating a sugar apple.
What?
Yes. So I had one last night, I think it was. I wanted to eat a piece. I ended up eating the whole thing. So check out Carol's Kitchen, and of course they boast one of the best local menus on island. They're located on St. Louis Street in Castries. So Carol's Kitchen. Make sure you tell them that the guys at Hits FM sent you. And we're going to talk about a little bit about Close Thursday. It's our last show for the week. We have a clothing line to introduce to the people.
Yes, the clothes line is called Tweaked. Tweaked, which is TWEAK apostrophe D.
When you're tweaking something.
Tweaked, yes.
Okay,
so this clothes line now, they do custom made, tops and caps as well, right, with their brand. And this brand is straight out of Jamaica, right? The owner, the CEO of the company is Nadine Allen, right? I think I have some of her stuff here.
Okay.
Is it possible for me to just like hold it up in front of the camera?
Would it work that way?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so tell you what we'll do. We'll revisit this on Monday.
Yes.
And we'll have the photos available so we can show it a little better.
So if persons are interested, they could get in touch with me. And I could, introduce them to the
and
new.
Is it on Facebook also? Does she have a Facebook page?
Right. Let me see. Let me see if I can find her address on Facebook.
Right.
Visit her. Nadine Allen.
Nadine Allen.
Yeah, Nadine Allen
Facebook.
on Facebook. Right.
And the line is called Tweet. Is it more casual? A casual line.
It's a casual line, right? You have the crop tops. You have the long sleeve male. Tight. It's a tie-dye looking kind of thing, and yeah, they're looking real good.
Would there be anything in the line for me,
of course,
to fit me?
Anybody, whether it's man, woman, girl, boy.
And if I wanted to wear it to work, can I?
Yes.
Come to work? So this is
yes.
a semi
right.
Work casual.
Right,
okay.
right. Because I have a top. The top states broken to be blessed. And I can wear that I wear that sometimes under my jacket to work.
So under a blazer.
Yeah.
What else do they? Is it just clothing? Are they into
she's
footwear also? Or?
She's looking into branching off into other items soon. I at one point hear her talking about scarves, ladies scarves and stuff like that. And
right.
Yeah, soon you might have her
for the cool office.
Yeah, man. I when I take this stuff next week, you will see what she has. She has a whole lot of stuff for men, as I said, men, women, boys, girls. It's there.
Very nice, very nice. And that's her?
Yeah, that's her.
Okay, that's very nice.
Yeah.
And of course, you tune into Hits FM 92.1, 91.1, the Maximum Music Authority, and GVD TV channel 115. We got about a minute left, so we can wrap things up for this week. Of course, next week you can join us same time, same place from 11 until 12. You never know what's going to happen on any day of the week. So make sure you tune in. Make sure you tell a friend to join us for Man vs. Woman. I am Asylum.
And I am Suzette.
Have yourselves a wonderful weekend, St. Lucia.
Yes, St. Lucia.
We shall see you guys on Monday God's willing.
Monday it is for woman versus man.
I'm gonna let you get some good rest so you can come with that energy on Monday, so I can.
Yeah, man. I know you look forward to. Pounding me every day. You think I don't know that?
I can rattle your cage.
Okay.
Because the thing is, over the years,
I'm going to make sure I put reinforcement on the cage for you to come for you on Monday. Just watch.
To clear it up.
Just watch.
I'm here to correct that.
Well, I'm here to correct the perceptions that you men have
of women?
when it comes on to women.
We only just don't like the way you guys nag. That's it. You complain too much for everything.
Men just don't like to do what they know they're supposed to do. You leave room for nagging when you don't do what you're supposed to do. Asylum.
Like I said earlier, it's not what you say.
Don't use that as no excuse.
Can you finish?
Don't use that as no excuse.
Would you be able to finish the sentence for me?
Don't even think about using that as no excuse. I'm not going to say anything.
Hold on. I'm going to add to it. I'm going to add to it is how, when.
I'm not going to answer you.
And where you say it. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend, St. Lucia. We're out of here.